Hello and welcome to the Genuine Learning Blog from Galasso Learning Solutions. I'm Peter Zender, and today we're diving into the proposed accounting standards update on interim reporting. And look, I get it. Interim reporting, it can feel a little bit like trying to get excited for a half birthday when you know that real celebration, the candles, the cake, the big moment won't happen until year end. But here's the thing. Users of the financial statements rely on interim reporting. They still want the gift of fairly presented financials no matter the time of year. So let's try to muster up as much excitement as we can for this new proposal. I guess that will have to do. Let's see what this new proposal is bringing to the party. All right, to kick things off, we're going to start with the immortal lyrics of the third greatest 90s boy band. Tell me why. Why is the proposed update being rolled out? Well, three big reasons here. The first, navigability and clarity. Interim financial statement preparers want to know exactly where to find guidance and what it's saying. So they want more clarity. They want clear instruction on what should be included and excluded from interim financial reporting. Second item here, understanding the when. So clarifying when interim reporting guidance applies. What situations are we going to apply this guidance to so that there's no confusion? And then the third item is the how. So providing additional guidance on specific required disclosures. Which disclosures do we need to include in interim financial reporting? All this being said, I want to be clear, the FASB is not trying to change the fundamental nature of interim reporting. This update is all about clarity, not reinventing the wheel. But we've covered the why, where, what, and how. Let's talk about the who is affected. General rule, whether you're an SEC registrant or a non-registrant, if you report interim financials under GAAP, this proposal in ASU 270 will apply to you. There are a few minor exceptions. If you have a single statement report, not-for-profits, there are certain areas that might be out of scope. But again, if you're involved in the interim financial reporting process, this is a proposal that you want to keep an eye on. Let's dive deep here into some of the key changes proposed. So the first one is a clear list of required interim disclosures is being introduced to provide clarity on what must be reported. And as someone who once planned to make a grilled cheese sandwich for dinner and forgot bread at the store, I can confidently say a solid list of requirements prevents unnecessary meltdowns. This clarity is going to make sure that we don't miss any key disclosures as part of the interim financial reporting process. Our second kind of key change proposed, and I think this one might be the biggest in my mind, is a new disclosure principle for material events. Not all updates can wait until year end. If a material event occurs after the last fiscal year, we want that disclosed as users of the financial statement. Some key examples, if you've got major accounting changes, revised estimates, long-term contract updates. If it's material, if it has a material impact, make it known to the users of the financials included in the interim financial reporting. Third change here is better guidance on applicability. This ties back to our previous who's affected slide. Again, not all financials necessarily meet the criteria for using guidance at ASU 270 or these disclosures. Again, our single statements, sections of not-for-profit reporting. This new proposal is meant to specify those types of exceptions. But with that said, we've now heard some of the key proposed changes. Let's play a little game, an accounting game show that no one is talking about, truth or fair presentation. In your head, what I want you to do is pick one. Would you rather provide a truth or would you rather tackle a challenge of determining a fair presentation related to interim financial reporting? Truth or fair presentation? Do you got your answer in your head? Let's play. If you chose truth, your challenge is to go to the proposed accounting standards update. Specifically, I want you to go to ASC 270-10-50-9. It is on page 33 of the proposal. And I want you to review that comprehensive list of required interim disclosures. Just take a glance through it, familiarize yourself, and then Drop a truth in the comments. What was the most surprising required disclosure to you when you reviewed that comprehensive list? This is if you chose truth. If you chose fair presentation, if you weren't eager to share your most surprising disclosure, and I understand that was a deeply personal request, let's shift gears and take on a fair presentation challenge. So would the following scenario require disclosure for interim reporting? Now, I want you to remember that new disclosure principle. If there's a material impact, it must be disclosed. So our scenario here is a goodwill impairment assessment if no triggering event occurred during the interim reporting period. So would that require disclosure under the new proposed guidance for interim reporting? I'll give you a few seconds here to think about it. I wish we could play the Jeopardy music, but copyright, right? I mean, it's tough. All right, let's look at our answer here. The answer is this is not fair presentation since no triggering event occurred. There's no material impact. Again, that gets back to our principle. It's if there's a material impact, we want a disclosure. Since there's no material impact, no disclosure would be required in this specific situation. All right, hopefully you enjoyed playing truth or fair presentation. We're still shopping it around to TV networks. No takers yet, surprisingly, but let's wrap things up by discussing some of the transitional items, implementation timelines, and calls to action. So the plan is for this to be prospective for interim periods after the effective date. And that makes sense, right? There aren't any major changes here. It's just adding clarity to ensure users get the real-time information they crave. And FASB is currently seeking input on how much time interim reporting entities would need to implement this proposed new guidance and the feasibility of early adoption and its potential impact. They are also including some open questions for stakeholder feedback, including, has the goal been met? Does this proposed guidance update and improve understandability of interim financial reporting guidance? So that is our first question. Are there any key disclosures missing from that comprehensive required list? So if you glance through it and you're like, oh man, I think this should be included, you might want to comment. And then is the new principle required? Or is the new principle required that that material impact piece? Is that useful or is it too broad? Again, your input matters here, but make sure that if you want to comment, if you want to provide feedback, that you get that back by March 31st, 2025. And even if you don't plan to submit comments, if you prepare interim financial statements, if you're involved, it's a really good practice here to review these proposed changes. Again, while there's no major changes in terms of expanding or reducing disclosures, it's important to check if there's going to be any potential impact on your current reporting processes. With that said, thanks for tuning in to this week's Genuine Learning blog. As always, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. We'd love to connect on LinkedIn, via email, or through our website. And to all you interim financial reporting preparers out there, don't let annual reporting steal the spotlight. Once those interim reports are issued, soon with hopefully more clarity than ever before, I want you to take a moment, go out and get a cupcake, get some candles, celebrate that accomplishment because interim reporting matters too. All right. Thanks, everybody. Happy debiting and crediting.